My name is Maxwell Horn, and a call to adventure from my heart compelled me to go on a little bike ride. Alright, first stop, Madison, Wisconsin. Fucking love this city. So, I'm just waiting. I'm guessing it's, I don't actually know what time it is. I just biked here. Took probably about an hour, so I'm guessing it's around 9:30. First stop's gonna be Aldi here on the east side. I'm gonna show you the wondrous gifts that Madison, Wisconsin throws away. I think they close at 10 or maybe 9:30, and they're usually all out of there by 10:30. So that's usually when I go, and I expect man can't survive on power bars alone, so I'll do that in about an hour. For the meantime, I'm just kind of resting here on the east side. Near some park, I suppose. Never really been in this area, more than just passing through. So this is start of the experience. Stick with me. In the meantime, Einstein Bagel's already closed. And this is like the best spot. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Completely closed off. Can't see very well. There's no traffic over there. You have to be over there in order to see anything. So, especially without my car. Completely, like, I could sleep here if I really wanted to. I don't. So, now there's a chance that there won't be anything in here, in which case this obviously just isn't going to be posted, but we'll see if I find anything. Sometimes I either find 200 bagels or I find nothing. So let's take a look. And it looks today like it's going to be zero bagels today. Now, if I was real hungry, I might go looking for scraps, but I'm not that desperate yet. See if I end up getting there. Can't see it, but there's someone in there still. They don't give a fuck. I'ma go. There's the logic behind it. See, I can go now. If I get caught, which I haven't, it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm not gonna be back for 2.5 months. What are they gonna do? There's 2 people in there. What are they gonna do? Tell on a homeless guy? By the time the cops get here, I could be anywhere. They don't give a fuck anyway. I'm just gonna go do it. You don't. Yeah, I don't know if you want some bread. I don't know. Hang on a sec.
I usually don't on the white stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. It's a waste of everything. There's no nutrition in the white bread. But I'm seeing some peppers. I'm gonna take those for sure. Let's see here. I got some raisin cinnamon bread. You need that?
Nah.
You don't want any of that? I'm gonna take one of those.
I forgot some of that.
Yeah. Carrots? You like carrots?
I've still got some.
Yeah, me too. At home, but I ain't gonna be back for 2.5 months or so. Here's some good carrots. Take some of those for sure. Got some bad broccoli. You know, I've been doing this 2 years. I've never seen someone else come out here.
Well, I was stopping in whenever I was in the area, and like I say, that one Sunday it was right at shift change for the cops.
Yeah.
And then there's a key line right here when they got called evidently.
So someone called them. That's what I usually come. What time is it right now?
It's probably 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I usually come at 10:30, 11, because then they're always gone. There's some baby spinach. That's pretty bad though. Yeah. What are you looking for?
Any apples?
Oh man, I got a bunch of apples at home.
Pears.
Where you live? In Madison?
Yeah.
Which side?
Over by Oscar Myers.
Oh, right on the north side. Okay. I live in DeForest, so a bit further away. Have you ever been? Have you ever gotten real brave and taken the meat?
During the winter time.
Yeah. On the Aldi's on the west side. I once found 700 pounds of meat that they threw away. Lasted me January through March. I just put it out on my porch. fucking excellent. I've seen a lot of rotten stuff. I take a few of these bananas. Some of these.
When they used to put it out.
Hello.
Right when it, right when it was right out of the freezer, and you'd catch it.
You got this for me?
You'd get lucky once in a while, but
Well, yeah, I'll take those. Yeah, I don't know. I usually just do the sniff test. Usually it's a good way to go by.
They leave it set inside for a day before they toss it out.
You like Coca-Cola?
I've got plenty of soda.
Well, I'll take that. Shit.
I'm maybe looking for some fruit.
Got some cube
apples,
steak.
oranges.
Cube steak, I don't know. It doesn't feel very good. I don't have any means to cook it up, and it expired 2 days ago. So.
I think when they started noticing people coming in here all the time, they leave stuff.
Oh, more people come in here than you know of?
Yeah, I've seen other people stop there. During the day,
I've not.
they get upset about. They don't want people
Oh, for sure.
digging during the day.
That's why I never come during the day. It's not that they really care, I don't think. It's just that they have to pretend to care, you know?
Well, I've had employees tell me right out, could you come back when I'm not out here looking?
Right, exactly. I don't know.
And
Yeah.
I actually had them bring out a box of stuff anyways.
Yeah. There's a lot of strawberries over here, but they're all pretty rotten.
Yeah.
I used to have a lot of luck with that.
You gotta get that
I got some onions here.
strawberries and some of that stuff.
Did you need some more onions, or you got a lot of
I
those?
got plenty of onions.
Me too.
You gotta get some of that stuff before it sits in here all day, because this kind of weather goes bad quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, one time I was in here and there were maggots, and that really grossed me out.
Yeah.
Never had a problem with that. Just the once. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of fruit here, man. See some corn.
Not the day for fruit.
Nah, not by much. Ugh. Some raspberries, they're not very good. A kiwi, a jello. I don't know if you want either of those. All right. Well,
Mostly bread.
I suppose that's all. I mean, there's a watermelon here. I suppose that's all I got in this dumpster. I mean, there's a shit ton of other food, but I'm just gonna leave it. What's your name, by the way?
John.
John, I'm Max. Can you believe that shit? Because I couldn't. In 2 years, every time I've gone to dumpster diving, never found someone else there. Made a new friend. Okay, so first day. First day is always the most interesting because it's not habit yet. Today, I'm in McFarland, which is a quaint little town just south of Madison, basically. And set up my tent. I already have a problem with that. One of the cords, little elastic cords, snapped, and I just basically tied it in a shitty knot. I'm not a Boy Scout, so I don't know how to tie knots all that well, but I tied it in a makeshift knot. Got the food. Got quite a bit of food. Decent food. Guy didn't want any of it, so I took all of that. Got some bread, and I got some bananas, some peppers, and oh wait, hold up. Most importantly, I got Coca-Cola, motherfucker. Anyway, I also had an interesting run-in with a cop. I was on the side of the road. I was just kind of eating, taking a break because my hips were kind of hurting for some reason, my hip flexors. And I think a first responder came because he was wearing civilian clothes and made sure I'm all right. And then he radioed for people to cancel. And then a cop showed up. And this is the first run-in with a cop that I had where I was like, serving and protecting, not being an asshole. He asked if I was okay, and then he asked, well, do you have the correct lights? And I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, carry on. Sounds good. So that was cool. apart from that, yeah, here I am. First day. Didn't quite make my goal of Stoughton, McFarland, pretty damn close. But I'm tired, and I'm sure I'm going to be sore in the morning, so I should probably stretch, which is hard to do in this town. I'm worried that in a town like this, they're going to be worried that I'm like some child predator or something like that. So I'm hoping not to be seen. I'm in a park. Check it out. Oh, you can't see jack shit out there, but a light over there and a basketball court. Not the kind of playground that kids would normally play at, because there's not a jungle gym and all that, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so overall, pretty productive day, and I'm gonna sign out now, so take care. Whew. What up, people? So I just entered Rock County. Just left Dane County for the first time. I'm sore as all get out. My knees aren't so much a problem as my hip flexors that are becoming a problem. But I'm just kind of doing a couple miles at a time, seeing what I can get done. I'll be in Janesville in about 10 miles, I think, and then I'll probably get all my shit stolen from me because it's Janesville. Dumbass town. Yeah. So this morning I was woken by police again an encounter with the police, telling me that I can't, in fact, pitch a tent in public, on public property, or on public property, which seems like a really stupid law to me. I mean, especially when those grounds weren't being used at all by anybody. So it wasn't even a warning, though. I was basically just told to get the fuck out. So that's been my day so far, and it is about noon. So talk to you later. What's up? So I'm here. I'm at the dockside, which is in Newville, Wisconsin, just south of Edgerton. And I was just coming here basically because I wanted to get a glass of water, and I wanted to read because I didn't want to be biking in the midday. So I got here around noon, and it's about 4 now, I think. 4? And these lovely people at the Dockside Bar and Grill, they gave me a free meal, they gave me water, they got these pretty ladies working here. They're all really nice. I was actually talking with one of them. Her name's Chloe, with a K. So say hi, Chloe.
Hello.
And what would you say is the magnus opum of this place? What's the reason people should come here?
Obviously, the awesome waitresses.
Damn right.
The drinks.
Holla.
Free water, free meal for you. And
yeah.
the awesome view of the Rock River.
Yeah, it is an awesome view. This is Newville, an unincorporated town near a bunch of other really small towns, but is a rockin' view of some arbitrary lake that I don't know the name of. But yeah, so thanks for the free meal. Got some benevolent people here. The owner, Mike, he's an awesome guy. You should come check it out if you're ever in the area. Peace. So this morning, I think what the cops meant to say was that I need to do a better job of hiding if I'm going to be sleeping in for free on grounds that I don't own. So this is my pick for the night. I've got a boundary to that side. Got a bit of a boundary to this side. There's a highway there. I've got this big boundary here. That's right here. I'm gonna set up right here. And I've got on the boundary to this side here. See that? So I think I'll be safe. Time will tell. Passing through Darien, Wisconsin. 7 miles south in Walworth, Wisconsin, home of the Bigfoot Chiefs. Apparently the Bigfoot Chiefs don't have their own water tower. Mooching bastards. So John, the guy I caught dumpster diving in Madison, suggested that I try a Family Dollar. So I'm gonna give that a shot now. That's all I got. Just some Freezy Pops. Here we are, leaving Wisconsin. Illinois, you can still go fuck yourself. I wanted to stop right here just to explain some things that have been happening today. So, I was feeling pretty down earlier. I was feeling kind of depressed, actually. Just like I've been dragging today. I've been doing. It's been harsh. I've been having a hard time with my legs. Morale's been killing me. Yeah, I was just sitting there in a park in Wall, whatever the fuck that town was that I was in earlier, the one without the water tower. And I was just feeling down. I went and I got those Italian ices. That was neat. But I made the 7-mile trek to Harvard, which is where I'm at now. And where I took that photo was where it started. I talked to that guy. I think he's in the photo, and his son was a biker as well. And he invited me in. We talked for a bit. He offered me some OJ. I'm like, oh, cool. You know, I'll take some OJ. That sounds great. Ended up being one of the coolest people I've ever met, probably. His name's Sergio. I don't really know. I don't know his last name. He was talking about how he does touring, or he used to do touring. He's got this shop. You know, I was hanging out in his shop where he fixes up cars. And I guess that's what he does full time for a job in Chicago. And he just comes here for the weekend. And he has a few beers and cranks on some wrenches, I guess. That's a hobby and all that. Although we got some people coming here. I'll finish in a bit. Just wanted to make sure they weren't going to steal my shit or something. Got to be wary of that. So yeah, he invited me in. You know, we were having this and that. Gave me some water. Gave me some food. And not just like, oh, here's some food. He gave me, this dude's a vegetarian, so he had some vegetarian stuff. He also gave me 3 steaks. This dude bought me 3 steaks. Him and his family were there. I guess he had his sister buy me 3 steaks. So, and he also introduced me to this site. I might check it out. I might use it for a bit. I'm not sure yet. It's called warmshowers.org or hotshowers.org. I don't fucking remember. But it's where you can go and basically people invite you into their home if they're they're tours themselves. So I signed up for that. Now I'm on the list for that. Yeah, just wicked awesome experience. My morale just went from 0 to like 9. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to go. Should be another, I think, 20 miles to the next town. Woodstock is what it's called. So I'm headed there, and from there I'll be going to Crystal Lake. And we'll see where it goes. I'll talk to you later. Oh, and I'll be meeting up with Sergio again. He lives in North Chicago, so I'll be hitting him up for a place to sleep in probably 2 days. So maybe I'll get some film of him too. He also told me there's an alternate route I could take to stay off of Highway 14 where there's a bit more traffic. He's all around just what a great guy. I just can't get enough of how much hospitality someone could have for a stranger sometimes. Really sort of bringing back my faith in humanity in some ways. Woodstock, Illinois. Well, I had to throw out some of my food because it was going bad. You see the pepper and the grapes there. But I found this one pepper. I've still got a little bit of it's alright. And I'm just finding you just kind of got to pick through. Find the parts that are, yeah, that part's pretty rotten right there. Find the parts that are less rotten and just kind of eat around the bad parts. It's kind of like living at my dad's house again. Here's to that. So I'm just leaving Crystal Lake and I'm heading into Cary. You see the sign here. Cary Physical Therapy. I don't know if you can see that at all. That's cheeky as fuck. God, I wouldn't go there, but that's cheeky. Anyway, highlights from Crystal Lake. It's a pretty big city. It's kind of, I don't know, I would guess comparable to Janesville or something. It's got a Home Depot, it's got a Walmart, it's got all the fixings and all the restaurants and stuff. Some guy honked at me and gave me the think sign while I was going on the highway at about 30 miles an hour. That was the speed, it was 30 miles an hour. I was probably going 25 or so. And I gave him the finger. He gave me the finger back. I'm really glad he didn't pull over, because I would have been tempted to turn his face into hamburger meat. That's what would have happened. Skinny little white boy, god damn it. I hate it when people are ignorant of the law. They don't realize that I am in fact within my right to ride on the highway. So that's about it for Crystal Lake. I'm here in Cary. I'm gonna be heading up. I'll probably hit Chicago Monday at some point. Today's Sunday. This is Sunday afternoon. Sunday morning? I'm not quite sure, but that's all for me. Passing through Barrington, Illinois. I'm now in Palatine, Illinois, and I noticed that there's a Jaguar dealer. That's pretty rare. Des Plaines, near Chicago, Illinois. Evanston, Illinois. First thing north of Chicago.
Is it first day in Chicago?
Yes! Wow. So that was a day. I probably biked about 70 miles today. Definitely a personal record. Can you, oh man, my God. So, I got to Chicago. I'm in Chicago. Well, now I'm north of Chicago in whatever that Evans whatever thing was. Sitting here, I'm outside Sergio's apartment, waiting for him to get here from Harvard. And oh man, I just had a crazy day. Like I just kept going. I don't know, somewhere I just got this boost of morale. I don't know where it came from. It was great. So I'm sitting here, you know, I go to this, I get to east side of Chicago, and I see this free music fest, and I'm just like, cool, yeah, I'll go in there. They're like, we suggest $10 donation. I'm like, bitch, I'm poor. So that was cool. I go in there, I'm just jamming to some music. I saw someone I knew from a while ago, not someone I knew very closely. Her name's Sarah. She was a friend of Alma's. So that was kind of neat, running into her. Probably one of 4 people I know in this city. Then I got the text from Sergio. Oh, here's where I live. You know, get there when you can. I was like, okay. He said he'd be here at 10. I guess he'll be here a little earlier. But so then I'm like, okay, well, where is this Logan Square? And this girl says, oh, it's about 5 or 6 miles west. I'm like, are you shitting me? So I got to do another 5 or 6 miles. So I talked to this tandem biker, and you'll see the video of that. I just did a brief clip of that, and he was giving me directions. I think he was foreign. I have no idea where he was from. And then I was biking with this guy for a good distance, for about 10 blocks, who was he's from Spain, and he's a soccer coach. Just meeting crazy interesting people today. Not, you know, just very brief encounters, but that's just what I wanted. I wanted a bunch of brief encounters. This has been a day for the books for sure. And I finally get here, and I'm just skating. I was just going real fast. So definitely a day to remember. I think that's all I've got to say about it right now. Peace. I'm in Sergio's apartment right now. It's the morning. I didn't actually get a chance to do any recording while he was here or last night. We ate some. He made some salmon sandwiches, which were really good. And I got to do my laundry. I got to take a shower. It was great. I'm really refreshed, and at the same time, really sore. So he left for work. So he said I could just stay. What kind of a person trusts someone like that? It's ridiculous. I love it. I wish I could trust people that much. I wish I did. But I'll probably be leaving here in an hour or so. I've just been kind of regaining my bearings here. My legs are really sore, so I'll be heading out soon though. I'm not really a fan of Chicago, you dig? But I gotta say, this skyline is pretty fucking impressive. Just it doesn't even, I'm sure on camera it doesn't even look like shit. It doesn't look like a damn thing. But I'm seeing this in person. These are towering buildings. It's gonna be crazy when I get to New York. I'm trying to head to that shore over there. There should be a bike path along the shore. I think it'll be beautiful. I'm heading down south. I'm actually heading to see Alma, which is probably a shitty fucking mistake, but whatever, we're gonna do it. Look at all these fucking boats. Ridiculous bike path. Ooh, there. I've got a question for you. Which do you think came first in the projects? The need for metal fences or the metal fences themselves? Hammond, Indiana. What up? I'm now in Munster, Indiana. Some small town just south of Hammond. So I left Chicago this morning. I probably biked about 15 miles already. It's about 8:30. I got up at 5:30. I stayed at Alma's last night. It's good to see her, I guess. I went through some rougher areas of Chicago. The west side was kind of rough. The south side, some parts of it weren't very welcoming to tourists for sure. Or people that weren't from the area. I'm about to pass through. The way I took ended up taking me south of Gary, Indiana, which I've been warned about. I've been warned about Gary, Indiana, and I always neglected. Nah, I'll go through Gary. I don't care. If it's a straight shot, I don't care. I'll experience the hood. I experienced the hood in Chicago, but I'm south of Gary now, and I'm not gonna go back north just to experience the miniature Detroit of Indiana. That doesn't seem appealing to me. So I'm just gonna trail east. If I hit Gary, so be it. It doesn't look like I will. This route I'm on, Ridge Road, meets up with Highway 6 in a few miles. That should be nice. I got some directions from an old lady. I don't even know her name. Some old lady who lives just over there in Hammond, and that's all I've got for now. Oh, and by the way, I made it through the entire state of Illinois without shifting gears. fucking flatlands. Beautiful downtown Highland, Indiana. Not even stopping, Griffith, Indiana. Real quick, take some of this. Thank you, Ultra Foods. Well, that's cool. Just don't tell me when we're in Gary. That's cool. That's real fucking great. No sign, nothing. I think this is it. This is like the southern portion of it anyway. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Put my camera away. Yeah, I didn't film for a lot of that, but I'm sure it gets worse up north. Hobart, Indiana. Portage, Indiana. I'm in South Haven, Indiana. Decided to take a little nap here right next to this gas station before I head out back on the road. Next, I think the next town is going to be several miles over. The road narrows, becomes country road. I just wanted to take a nap before I get honked at by a bunch of people who are ignorant of the law again. I've done it now. It seems like everyone in Indiana has a no trespassing or you'll be prosecuted sign on their lawn. I'm near the west side of Indiana, and there's a storm coming in tonight. It's light rain right now, but I heard from a local that there's a storm coming in really bad. So I set up tent, and I'm definitely set up on private property. I walked down this dude's yard to get to this. Check this out. It's a very beautiful view. You can see right here. He's got like 40 acres or something. I don't know. It's gorgeous. This is kind of down in a valley somewhere. It's sort of separated by some trees from his house. I'm hoping that he just doesn't come down here and see me tonight. I really had no other option at this point. I needed a place to stay, and if I'm on private property. He's got this much land. I don't think he's, but I am a little bit worried that he's going to take a shotgun to me or something. I didn't lock up my bike because I'm going to have bigger problems if anyone does see me here. So, shaking my little boots. They told me there'd be days like this. Why did I get myself into this? Napanee, Indiana. That's a long ways from where I left off. Because I didn't want to do any filming in northern Indiana. Because northern Indiana's fucking boring. Oh, here comes another train. Say hi to the about 20th train I've seen today. Hi, train. Look at that. Fucking trains. If you like trains, come to Indiana. Power lines and corn. Power lines and corn. I'm going to bed. Just kidding. I didn't want to sleep, so I went all the way to Ligon here. Dumpster diving. A Chinese buffet. I found jackpot they threw away at the end. It's still warm. Lots of good meat in there, so I'm going to check that out. Pendleville, Indiana. Waterloo, Indiana. Ohio, please suck less than Indiana did. Edgerton, Ohio. When was the last time you saw one of these? Making a collect call. Didn't make it to my destination of Napoleon, Ohio today. I wanted to do another 80 miles like I did yesterday. Didn't make it. I'm about 12 miles short just because of this thunderstorm / rainstorm that's going on. The rain's died down, but there's still a thunderstorm lightning going on. I didn't want to get zapped. I also didn't want to pull over and ask for anyone on their lovely farmlands for sanctuary. And at first I'm thinking, oh, they're probably just assholes. They probably wouldn't be. But that's not it. It was really just me. I didn't want to. I don't like the dynamic of asking people for help with things anymore. Pride will kill you. Apart from that, my day's been interesting because for the first time today, I ate several times things that I found on the side of the road. Someone had thrown a piece of KFC out the window that was still good. I know it was still good because there were no ants on it, and it tasted all right. And some sodas and some Cheez-Its all off the side of the road. The Cheez-Its had some ants in them, but fuck it. It's like, yeah, at this point, you know, I could buy food, but for heaven's sake, you know, like, heaven forbid I should have to go fucking hungry once in a while. Builds character, right? I'm gonna sign out. So I met a guy last night named Jeff Corder, or Jeff Corders, C-O-R-D-E-R. He was a pastor at the church that I was sleeping outside of. New theory, by the way. I believe that churches, when in doubt, a church is the best place to settle down. It's like a sanctuary. It's the cops assume that you have their permission, and even if you don't, it's likely that they'll grant you a pass. So I'll probably be doing that more often now. When he greeted me, he gave me coffee this morning, he gave me a shower, we talked. He's actually from Wanakee, Wisconsin, which is kind of neat. So, local neighbor basically, and so yeah, that was really cool. So far, Ohio seems better than Indiana. The people seem nicer. I have yet to see a no trespassing, stay off my lawn, yeah, people are bad sign. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just the Madison in me, but I don't understand that mentality. If someone was trespassing on my lawn, it would take at least a day before I was like, even introduce myself, and I probably wouldn't even mind if he stayed for a great deal longer. I certainly wouldn't be worried for my safety. I guess I should feel blessed to have that sort of mentality rather than this avoidance, seclusion, what's mine is mine, stay away from me mentality. I think it's sad. I think people naturally crave interdependence and social interaction, whether they realize it or not. I think it's a shame that some people don't realize it. That's all for me. Napoleon, Ohio. It's a beautiful place. I'm gonna go check out that building. It looks, camera of course just doesn't do justice. It looks beautiful though. Beautiful architecture. I think it'll be very symmetric. Made my first purchase today. Had to buy a tube. I was at Walmart here in Napoleon, and it cost $5.32. Take a look. It's the only thing that I've bought. I meant to buy a tube, a spare tube before I left, but I didn't have time to. Fremont, Ohio. Sandusky, Ohio. I'm in the apartment of some guys named Tim and Sonny. I get into Sandusky and I just happen to sit down on a certain bench near where some guy lives. He and his step-granddaughter started talking to me. I guess it was her idea that she thought I might be homeless, so they should give me some spare change, which is sweet, you know, in its intention. But and I get to talking to this guy, Tim, about just everything. We ended up talking for a while, and he comes back, invites me into his house. We get some food. We're probably gonna go to a party today, so that'll be neat. I'm gonna take another day off from Cleveland is about 60 miles northeast of here, and I learned from Sonny, who's also a really cool guy, that there's this path, Route 6, not Highway 6, but Route 6, that will take me all the way there very easily. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll talk about that later. In the car, we're going to some place called Marblehead, Ohio. It's supposed to be pretty. Just the fireworks, and then
that's the largest.
What did you say it was called? What kind of bay was it called?
This is Sandusky Bay.
That's Sandusky Bay, or what is it?
This is part of it.
It's Point, something Point.
Correct.
You said.
I don't know what that is. I don't remember. Oh, Cedar Point.
Cedar Point, yeah, Cedar Point. Right now, at a park, just past Vermilion. I passed a few places. I passed Huron. I passed
Swaki, some shit. I don't know. Best few places. Didn't stop. Didn't wanna. Right now I'm eating some blueberries that Tim gave me. Party on. And I got some meat left. So I feel like I should explain this a little further. I went to that party in Marblehead, and it was basically in a trailer park, more or less. And got there, started eating some food. I'm like, okay, you know, this is gonna be some meat. It's good. It's been a while. Swear to God, best pork loin I've ever had in my entire life. Those hillbillies know how to fucking cook. This guy sounded just like Boomhauer, looked just like that backwoods guy from Oh Brother Where Art Thou? I gotta protect my kid. Made the best pork loin I've ever had. And this guy Jay, yeah, I got a picture. I got one picture. Just really cool people, really chill people. If I let my guard down and stop judging people, I found that I enjoyed myself immensely there and had a really great time. Now I'm headed to Lakewood. Maybe I'll run into old buddy Hinson from the military, and then that's right next to Cleveland, so I'll be there. In the meantime, I might get a workout in. Got a park over here. You can see that. Gonna maybe do some working out. Catch you later.
Vermilion, Ohio. My kind of city, Vermilion is. Look at that bridge. Look at all this. Boats, just boats everywhere. Lorain, Ohio. I'm in Lakewood, just west of Cleveland, watching Archer. Hanging out with this mongoloid of a monster right here. He's a good dog. He's 8 years old. This is Robin's dog. I'm actually at an old army buddy of mine's house, apartment. She's at work. Gonna be heading out right now to check out Cleveland. Walking through the streets of downtown Cleveland now. Seeing the city, it's not so bad. It's a bit bigger than Madison. It's not bad though. It's actually got a lot of potential. It's a great place for investment. It looks like the area is about to be gentrified to fuck, which means that, you know, what's gonna happen? Once it gets gentrified, all of a sudden a bunch of business is gonna come in, and they're gonna have plenty of jobs. It's gonna be all right. I imagine in the next few decades there's gonna be a lot of growth in Cleveland. But for some reason, I have yet to see a woman here who is above a 6 out of 10. And when I'm walking down the street here, I just don't get that feeling of happy that you imagine that you're going to get when you're in a city that you think you'd want to even live in potentially. So I gotta hand it to you. It's a little bit too big. It's just not a happy feeling. Women here aren't that exceptional looking. I gotta give it to Madison. Madison still got it. City of Cleveland, Ohio. Back on the road in southern Cleveland. See here the Ohio Crankshaft Company. I'm actually in the area where there's a lot of steel manufacturing going on. There's little scraps of steel, maybe other assorted metals all over the ground, and I'm just riding through. There's actually a very distinct smell to this whole thing. And I would say you should come and check it out, but it's actually a really awful smell. It's probably detrimental to the health of people who live in the area. And as you can see, there aren't that many. You see there's a lot of houses that have just been getting cut. So yeah, I'm on the road again, heading to Girard.
heading to Youngstown, that area, and then into Pennsylvania. On the road again.
Holy shit. I'm gonna keep riding. But this sucks. Windy and rainy. In the middle of fucking southern Cleveland. Solon, Ohio?
Actually, I had a really interesting run-in with some guys at a McDonald's. I was frustrated because Highway 43 turned into interstate, and I just stopped in a McDonald's. I used one of the $3 and some odd cents that Tim gave me to buy a dollar menu item. And I sat down and so I just started talking to these older guys, and they gave me directions. We talked about 45 minutes about just a ton of shit. Just, it was really cool. Their names were Les, and I don't even remember the other guy's name. He's a cabinet maker, a union man. He was talking. They both seemed like they were of average intelligence or so. The other guy was an English teacher, Les. Don't forget that interesting conversation.
Aurora, Ohio. Might be crashing here, not sure. Can't be certain. I do, however, see a Chinese restaurant. Might check it out.
My legs are absolutely covered in sand. You can't even see it. So made it to Aurora. Didn't go any further. Sitting in my tent at a Methodist church just near the cross section of Highway 82 and 43. Earlier I was going through this southern part of Cleveland, and that was a bitch of a storm. It was thunder, lightning, rain, and it was warm rain though, so it was kind of nice. It kind of felt nice. There was like 2 inches standing on the road in some places, and it would trickle up my leg when my tires skidded by it, and it kind of felt nice. And I kept thinking, this is dangerous, this is bad, I should stop. I just kept going by church. I'm like, I should stop here, I should stop here, but I just couldn't. I couldn't stop. It felt great. Like I was like, this is why I'm here. This feeling is why I'm here. It was a beautiful feeling. Doing anything in the rain when it's warm out, it feels great. Going for a run, biking, anything, it's all great. So it's about 10 p.m. on the 18th of June. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks. I'll be probably getting into Youngstown tomorrow. And then I'll be meeting up with the guy who has the same name as me, Maxwell Horn. That'll be interesting. Yeah, it was a beautiful day. And I only stopped at the McDonald's because I was frustrated because 43 became interstate, and I had to figure something out. So, yeah, it was a great day.
Woo-wee! That was fun. Hiram, Ohio. Southington, Ohio. 1998 state champs of the 3rd division softball. 16 years ago, that was their pride. Champion, Ohio. These guys better have won every other softball division since 1998.
I mean, doesn't it seem sort of presumptuous and maybe even a little bit arrogant to call your city something like champion? I mean, I would, if that were the case, that was off limits, I would name mine I Am the Best, you know? Actually, if I had a town, I would name it Scrotum. It's an ongoing joke with a friend of mine. And we wouldn't have a zip code because we'd be too afraid of getting stuck in it.
Warren, Ohio. Niles, Ohio. Girard, Ohio.
Something else, man. This is like probably the steepest hill.
Oh yeah, this would be.
Yeah, this is around here, fucking.
And you see a door.
We got like
and it goes to
Firefly
a
maybe?
different dimension.
towers?
You are now entering the Twilight Zone. You ever see that show?
Yeah, a little bit. Our
Okay,
one
show.
English, my 7th grade or 8th grade English teacher.
It's a classic,
was
man.
always showing it to us. Sounds like the ocean.
Smells like the ocean?
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it, yeah. Very fucking loud ocean.
Sounds more like ocean and further away. I also like bring a backpack in case you pick anything up. You know what I mean? Not necessarily just bring anything. Take.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this goes like this.
What even is this billboard here? Woo! Fireworks?
Phantom fireworks.
Phantom fireworks.
I think there's like inside.
Inside? You gonna go in it? We're up on a billboard. Goes down a ways. Yeah, yeah.
It looks organic. It's all just falling to pieces. Look at it. It's crumbling before our eyes.
Shine on that again. What was that? Oh man.
Made it all the way through.
That was fun. Whoa, this is real sketchy. Yeah, it looks like it's eroded. No, the floor, dude. Looks like the floor's eroded this shaking. Macaroni salad, had a meatball sub, and one of those Asiago cheese.
Youngstown, Ohio.
After spending hours planning my route from here to Harrisburg, I decided to take a detour because I saw a bike route from Struthers, Ohio to Newcastle, Pennsylvania. About 10 miles. That shit for sure. Look at this. It's pretty. The great thing, still kind of in the hood. The great thing about bike paths in the hood, no one fucking using them.
Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Elwood City, Pennsylvania. New Brighton, Pennsylvania.
What's up, world? Today is gonna just be a bit of a no video listen recording. Today was a great day. I estimate that I'm just outside of Pittsburgh right now. I started out in Girard. I left the house around 5. This house, we had a crazy party the night prior. I didn't film anything because I didn't want to incriminate anybody. The house was, it was a rocking good time. Met a lot of people. It was great. Added a few of them on Facebook. I'm sure I might add a few more. Yeah, I headed out. Best part about today, well, the hills were defeating me. They were beating the crap out of me, which was interesting. I liked it. Although my knee is starting to hurt more and more. I ran into a restaurant, and there's a picture. I'll show that here. these people, I go in there just asking for some ice for my pack, and we get to talking. I'm saying I'm from Wisconsin, and oh, you have an accent, and all this, and they end up being very interested. This is barbecue pork place. They end up being very interested in my journey, so I'm just talking to them about it. Like, yeah, and I was trying to act super extroverted. I was trying to act super enthusiastic about it, and just trying to act like sort of like a socialite, I guess. They end up asking, "Oh, do you want any food?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm not buying any food on this trip." And their jaws dropped. I was like, "Okay." They ended up giving me a free, like, pulled pork sandwich. It was amazing. Amazing pulled pork. And then all these options of barbecue sauce. It was great. I was so thankful. This is, probably a $6 sandwich, I imagine. Something like that. And I'm talking to all these girls. They were pretty, too. I talked to 4 of them, I guess. And, they were all really nice, and one of them said to me that I am the most inspirational person she's ever met. Literally, she said literally the most inspirational. I was like, okay, well, even if that is just figurative or not really literal, that really felt good to hear. Like that I'm inspiring at all. That's really a great thing to hear. And I encouraged everybody to do something of their own that's adventurous, and it doesn't have to be biking. I would never want to tell somebody, oh, you should bike this way or that way. That defeats the purpose. You have to make your own journey, I think. I think that's the biggest part about this that's made it what it is for me. That every interaction I have, it's because of me. It's mine, as they say. So yeah. And the biggest thing was at the end of all that, the woman behind the cash register ended up giving me $20. I almost felt bad taking it. She was like, "Here, you should have this. Don't talk about it. Just have this." And I know she wasn't stealing from the register or anything. I assume it came from her boss or something. I'm not sure, but I was just like, "Holy shit, $20!" So now I'm thinking, I'm probably gonna allot myself a Philly cheesesteak when I get to Philadelphia. I think I could afford that. It's probably like $8 or something. And I'll probably get something in New York City. Just, if now that I have the money, I might as well get something to commemorate the most notable towns, most notable cities that I'll be visiting. Hey, if the money's there, So, that's been my day. Afterward, all the waitresses left. They were cleaning up. They were just closing as I was walking in. I started talking to the owner and these other people, and they were giving me directions. And this one girl kept egging me on. She was telling me, so she started off with, "So what do you do, 100 miles a day?" Like, nonchalantly. And I was like, "Well, no. I do like 50. And just when hearing that, like, expectation, it's like when you tell someone, "Oh, guess how many there were," and they overestimate. It's like, "Oh, well, it wasn't that many." But, so, it made me want to do more. I definitely didn't expect to get as far as I did today. I'll easily be in Pittsburgh by probably noon tomorrow. I was expecting to get there at night tomorrow. So, Pittsburgh's about 80 miles from Girard. So, that's been my day. And that's all I have to say for now. I'm going to sign off. I'm at a church. I might join the church tomorrow. We'll see.
Holy cow.
This is where I slept last night. Some gal named Jermaine. I was just walking and she happened to turn me onto this place. I said, this is a safe place to sleep. She was right. Hardly anyone passed by here. No one bothered me. There's some guy, John, over here. Introduced himself, asking if I was gay. Asking if I wanted to suck his dick. I was like, fuck no, man. Fuck it. But after that, he ended up being a nice guy. Talked for a bit. Yeah, Pittsburgh. Beautiful city. Beautiful city. Went to that jazz fest last night. That was neat as hell. Gonna maybe get like a $1 menu breakfast item. And wait for the library to open so I can charge my stuff, figure out where I'm going, figure out how I'm getting to Harrisburg, because I haven't figured out if I'm gonna take 30 or if I'm gonna take 65. I'm gonna take that long, detailed route that I listed out. So I just needed to bitch. I needed to get some steam off my chest. Whew. Apparently nobody in this town can give fuck worth of directions. So I'm sitting here in McMansionville. I went too far for like the 3rd time. I overshot my turn. Getting out of Pittsburgh, going to Murraysville. Other than that, it was a good day. Other than the fact that I got screamed at by some guy in a truck. That's the most cunt-like shit to do. It's pussy-like to just like have a problem with me and not say anything. Or just be passive-aggressive, but this is just downright cunt-like. Because they know going through these mountains, fucking, they are mountains. Going through this area, I'm not going to be able to catch them. So they can yell whatever the fuck they want. Oh man, you know what I would give? I'd give five of the $20 I was given to just be able to catch up with them and just give them hell for it. Anyway, I'm almost in Murraysville. It's just taken me like 3 hours to get here. And I don't know, I think it's like 25 miles, maybe. I don't know. Fuck. Pissed off. Other than that though, it's been a good day. I was on the phone with Mark, waiting for the library to open. And this gal, Aisha, her name was, overheard part of my conversation, and she's homeless. She's a Muslim. White Muslim. Fluent English and everything. And we just got to talking, and she was really cool. She was very helpful, like just for no reason. She just, out of nowhere, she helped me find this homeless shelter. I ate lunch at a homeless shelter, and it wasn't very good. It was like rice and beef stew and pretty bland stuff. But it was food, so I wouldn't complain. It's just been a rough day. I know that going through Pennsylvania, the next town, Lancaster or Harrisburg, is still like 210 miles away. And I'm fucking dying. I know that these mountains are gonna kill me. My knee already hurts a little bit, but I just gotta keep pressing on. I anticipate that I'll get to Harrisburg. Hopefully, it's Monday. It's Monday right now. Hopefully I'll get there by Thursday.
but I think that's being optimistic at this point, just with how many miles it is. That's all I got. I met someone at the Salsa Jazz Festival too named Jillian. That was really cool. I got her on Facebook. Then I met this guy Dave. People are just all over the place. Just, oh, add me on Facebook. I love it. I love it. You know, if I make connections on this trip, that's excellent. That's something I love doing. This guy Dave gave me better directions as to how to get, general directions as to how to get to Murraysville, but everyone I asked since then doesn't know a goddamn thing about how to get there. Anyway, that's all I've got, so I'm gonna head out, get back on the road. One of the fastest way to get from Delmont to Greensburg, 9 miles, 9.5 miles. Do it unknowingly on the interstate while you're going through a lightning storm. I had to hop the median early. Hopped the median with my bike. There's a steep downhill after the median. I just sort of shimmied down, dragging my bike with me to a church. And that's where I'm at now. I'm in my tent. What a day. It wasn't raining, but it was lightning. It scared the living shit out of me. And I was on the interstate, so. I mean, Jesus Christ, I went through a toll booth on my bicycle. It was after hours, so there was nobody on attendance at this toll booth, so.
I forgot to explain something when I started this trip. So I didn't bring a GPS, or I don't have a GPS capable phone. Instead I brought these maps. I got them in this laminated file basically. And I started out with 17 pages to get me to Philadelphia. And I've been just ripping them out, throwing them away as I go. And I have 4 left. 4 left, yeah. And I just printed these off of Google Maps. Just print screen, copy paste into Paint document, and then copy paste that into a Word document. And that sufficed so far. Also, at some point along the way yesterday, my clips for my bicycle helmet, one of them fell off, and I couldn't find it. So what I did was I cut the ones off of my Camelback, and I switched them. I basically just threw them on here, tied a knot. As you can see right there, do that for both of them. And now I have a clipless Camelback, but I have a working helmet. It's a little tight, but it gets by. Kind of pushes on my atoms. I wouldn't be surprised if I come back a tenner after this.
Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Ligonier, Pennsylvania. Met up with some guy on the road, gave me a bag of beef jerky. I found a new handkerchief slash headband thing. So, old habits die hard. I still like picking shit up off the road. We wouldn't believe it. I mean, a camera, that's not gonna do this shit justice at all. Sitting here listening to my Artie Shaw on my iPod, and this is what I see. These old looking, look like they were made by Amish people, wooden fences with their imperfections. This big ass, that was way bigger than it looks on this camera. Holy cow. Just this whole field looks very rugged. I dig it. Laughlin Town, Pennsylvania. What's up? Just outside of Stoystown. You can see the sign? You can't see the sign, what am I kidding? I've done about 45 miles today probably. And I just got back from a bar run by Scott and his wife. He gave me some food, he gave me a couple of eggs, gave me a couple of apples, then he gave me some turkey and some ham that's frozen. It'll thaw on the way. Really great guy, really great guy. He's also a veteran, back in 2002. So, serviceman all around. Anyway, he was just telling me that I'm in the thick of it. I'm in the thick of the mountains. Like, I asked him what the altitude is about here. He said it's over 2,000 feet. So I'm like, and he said about 8 more miles from now, I've got a few more hills. But I've just been dragging it. He said after that, it's basically going to be downhill mostly all the way to Bedford. So I'm stoked. See how far I get tonight before I end up crashing. Another thing I want to talk about, honking. This happens to me about about 3 times a day on average now. And I've gotten better at resolving it. I've gotten better at just letting it go. Depends on the day. Some days, if I'm going up hills especially, I'll just start cussing them out under my breath. Well, not under my breath, I'm alone. I'll start cussing them out very openly, but they're not there to hear it, so. Don't honk at bikers if you think that what they're doing is dangerous. It doesn't communicate anything. Like every time I get honked at by somebody, I'm just picturing, they have no idea what it's like to be me. They have no idea. I'm aware. I'm not a fucking idiot. I am aware that what I'm doing is a bit dangerous. And maybe too dangerous for you. Not too dangerous for me. If you honk, you're essentially saying that you know better than me. And I'm just picturing this like fucking 40-year-old fat white woman who's, you know, got her CNA when she was about 20 and has just been pumping out kids ever since, has never lived a fucking dangerous day in her life. And she's gonna sit here and tell me that this is too dangerous for her. Well, I don't give a flying fuck. Like this guy right here, right? Right, yeah. There's nothing I can do, right? Nothing I can do. He's driving away. One time a guy pulled over and told me, hey, you know, it's getting late. You should put your lights on. I was in Napanee, Indiana. And I thanked him. I said, thank you. That is good enough. He's like, hey, I could barely see you. I just want to let you know. I'm just like, thank you. That is good information to know. Honking is just telling me that you're a fucking douche. That's all I gotta say for now. That's what I'm talking about. The next 6 miles is gonna be downhill. Gonna see some real curves now. Not pedaling at all. This is all downhill. This is all potential energy. That's the end. Hope you liked it. So one necessary thing for survival, if you're gonna do what I'm doing, and not paying for food as you go, is likely gonna be to berry pick. And there are these trees like this everywhere, and they got these kind of berries on them. They look kind of like blackberries. They basically look like blackberries. They're a little blander. They don't have quite as much kick to them, but they've got nutrients. They got water. They got sugar. They're calories. It's important. Basically, they're everywhere. Well, not everywhere. You run into them every now and then. I find them by looking on the ground. If I see purple all over the ground, especially in the cities, if there's purple over the sidewalk, you know you've probably got a berry tree. And I've been doing that sporadically along the way. Everett, Pennsylvania. Going down the street, found some guy's wallet. Austin Hopkins. Fucking thing had $130-something in it. I called him. He asked me to turn in. He said I should take a 20 out. Here's to good karma, because with 132 bucks, I could have paid for a lot of shit. A lot of shit. But I'm gonna do the right thing. So I took that wallet, that $133, took my 20 out,
Gave the rest to the Starbucks, said, hey, you give this to this guy, Austin, or whatever his name was. And they said they would. They also then gave me free drink, free Frappuccino, which was very sugary, very, it was tasty. And I told them I'm a dumpster diver, and they gave me some free donuts and stuff, or whatever, pastries, I don't know. I'm thinking, well, first of all, the kid's born in 94, that means he's 20 years old. Like, I'm gonna fucking take money from a 20-year-old. That's the shittiest thing you can do. But, you know, as much as it'd be nice to have $132, what's more important than that, more important than that is that a 20-year-old gained trust in people from this. Gained a deeper appreciation for humanity. Perhaps a better, what's the word? Oh, I don't know. Perhaps going forward, it'll be a pass it on sort of thing. A deeper trust in humanity. That sort of shit catches on, man. That sort of shit rolls downhill. Positive rolls downhill too. And people saw this interaction, and it's more important that you spread positivity in the world than that you gain $100 whatever dollars. I think I have influenced others by example in a positive way. I hope anyway. See, because the thing is, if people don't think other people have honor, that's how people end up having no trespassing signs on their lawn. Anyway, just an afterthought. I found out that it's a lot easier to go up hills if you downshift. Imagine that, right? But, I mean, I was downshifting before, but I mean downshift a lot. Like, go out of your third big gear to your second biggest gear. Yeah, it makes going up hills way easier, so I'm gonna just keep doing that. Your mom has dangerous curves. Ready for a night run, bitches? Haha. I noticed it was shaky last time. I'm gonna try to remedy that this time. La la la. By not holding on my left. This is freedom. This is what it fucking feels like right here. Oh God, it's so fucking gorgeous. Wish I didn't have such a shitty camera. Haha. Gotta slow down a bit. I don't want to die. I don't want my brakes to fail. I don't want to pop a wheel. Pop a tire, I mean. Oh my goodness, oh my damn, oh my goodness, I'm going ham. This is how biking is supposed to be. Oh, look at that. Oh, you can't see that, damn it. Well, just trust me, it's fucking beautiful. I can show you. I do feel like I'm on a fucking magic carpet right now. Stay in your reduced gear. Take your ass. Hey, Mumbo! Hey, Mumbo. Ah. No time! Hey, I'm almost out of water. My arm is getting tired. It's just so fucking long.
getting misty. Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. So I got my second flat today. Just 2 days ago was my first one. I'm thinking this is the culprit from the actual tire itself. Yeah, right there. You can't really see it very well. So I'm replacing a tube again, and I'm gonna use my spare tire because I don't have a patch kit, which was stupid of me. I never learned how to use one anyway. So next time I get into town, I'll probably buy a patch kit. Maintenance, this is maintenance I could have avoided if I had just known more about bikes, so I am spending a little bit of money, but it ain't on lodging, it ain't on entertainment, and it ain't on food. Wish me luck with this. If there is a God, I think he wanted me to sleep in Gettysburg tonight. Got this flat done. Just as I'm packing up, starts raining. And before it was a little sunny out still, I was like, I might just pass through. Nope, staying here. So I just finished. I'm gonna be quiet about this. So I just finished setting up my tent on my Gettysburg battlefield. Apparently, I talked to these guys nearby. Oh yeah, there's one right there. You can sit out there. I'll take better pictures of it in the morning. You know what? No, later on tonight, around midnight, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go for a little walk around with the camera and a headlamp. Hopefully, I don't get caught. But yeah, apparently the rebels won this part of the battlefield. So I'm getting a little piece of history. Some might say this is disrespectful. I don't know whether I'm more appreciative of war history or less than most people, but I'm just looking for an interesting narrative without actually harming anyone. See you later. Fuck being mature. The world will always try to encourage you to be more mature, because the world needs people who are responsible, but only typically sees that in people who are mature. Break down what someone's really saying when they're saying to you, be mature. They're saying to you, be more normal. Be normal. Be predictable. Be prudent. Fuck all that shit. I say be responsible. And being responsible means holding yourself accountable for your actions. Having conviction when you speak. Doing things that you think are right. Doing what needs to get done and getting shit done. Mature is just the facade we use to inform people that we are responsible. Being mature and being responsible is a step up from being immature and irresponsible. So if one needs to be mature in order to be responsible, then so be it. One ought to. But because the world needs responsible people. But more than that, the world needs people who are capable of being responsible without being mature. The real outside thinkers. Have etiquette. Play nicely. In my life, my aim is to be responsible, but it is never to be mature. The best experiences in life come when you decide to stop being mature and start acting savagely. And the most interesting narrative comes from that too. The people like to use is that violence doesn't solve anything, and I think a lot of that is pent up in the way people view violence, in that they think that if someone went and became violent with somebody else, that it's because they lost their temper, they didn't have control over their emotions, or that they were unable to use words in order to be diplomatic and solve the problem. And I believe that there is a time and a place for violence, and that is when you are reprimanding a bully or a punk in order to prevent them from becoming a tyrant. Now, I believe that violence would be in vain if, after the bout, you did not inform them as to why you acted the way you did. If that were the case, then you would have a problem. Then your actions are in vain, and they are not going to amount to anything if you just beat somebody up and leave them there. But if I were to get violent with somebody, if I had a need to get violent with somebody,
Afterward, I would explain to them exactly why this went down the way it did, and why I chose to become violent. Nothing quite like waking up to the smell of Yankee blood. It's currently 5:09 in the morning on the 27th of June, 2014. I just wanted to show you all where I slept last night. This has been exciting. Little piece of history. There's a fence to my right. This is my tent. Say hello, tent. And some statue over there. This is a battleground from Gettysburg. There's a plaque over there. Wanna go read it? Let's go read it. Oh, it's actually really pretty today. Beautiful morning. Let's go read it. Look at all that mist. It reads, 14th Brooklyn Infantry NYSM 84th, blah blah blah. Here in the forenoon, July 1st, 1863, the regiment opened fire on A.P. Hill's corps. Afterward, charged successfully on Davis' brigade at the railroad to the right and rear of this position, as indicated by a monument there. Later had a running fight through Gettysburg to Culp's Hill, where at night, July 2nd, repulsed the advance of Johnson's division of Ewell's Corps, then moved to the right to reinforce the 12th Corps, as recorded on tablet in Boulder to the right of the hill. It lost in the battle 13 killed, 105 wounded, and 99 missing. Dedicated July 1st, 1993. So yeah, that's interesting, huh? It all happened right here. I'm gonna get the fuck out before I get caught, because this is a national park.
I was gonna stop in York, relatively big city, right? But they made it too damn easy to just go straight through on Highway 30. Fucking used car lots everywhere, windy, loud, there were no bike lanes at all. I just said fuck it. I'm almost in Lancaster. Mountville, Pennsylvania. I'm in Lancaster, where I stayed with my aunt's friend Kathy. They met like 10 years ago. Say hi, Kathy.
Hi. Oh, I look great.
Yeah, you look fine. I'll be heading out in about a half hour or so to go to Philly. I'll be there in about 24 hours. So I know I'm in Amish country now, because there are only two things in the bike lane. Me and horse shit. What's up, guys? It's been a couple days. I haven't really reported in much. Leaving Gettysburg was a trip. I got up at 5:30, I left. This park opens at 6. I want to get the fuck out of there before anyone saw me, right? I made it all the way to Lancaster, 55 miles, I think, by 1 p.m. And then I was pampered. I got a shower, I got laundry done, I got food. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, it was really great. Kathy's friend Tara, they were both great people. They were both good to me. They treated me like a guest. They treated me like a royal guest almost.
especially compared to where I've been lately. But her friend Tara asked me after I got done with my shower, she said, you feeling more human? You feeling human now? And that was an interesting notion to me, because the way I had seen it, I had been feeling more human the last few days than I have in a very, very long time. Because I smelled bad, I was hot, I was sticky, I was upset, I was in an awful way. I was very exposed, very vulnerable. And to hear someone say, oh, you feeling human now? Like, I think that the showering, the hygiene, the pampering ourselves is sort of a facade to disguise how human we are. Like, oh, BO, not me, haha, sweat, not this guy, haha, no way. I don't sweat, that's gross, that's a human thing. I'm better than that. So that was a very interesting notion to me. Another thing that I forgot to mention, coming out of Gettysburg, this was a very interesting coincidence. Coming out of Gettysburg, I met with a guy named Ben, and he was an older man. He collects flags. He was there to collect some sort of flag from the Civil War. I'm not sure what kind he was going after, but he had his PhD in sociology or something like that. We talked for, I don't know, about at least a half hour, I would say, about just everything, history, politics, philosophy, human nature. Very interesting guy. He was about 5'5", kind of hunched over, so I had a really hard time seeing. I had a hat on, I could barely see his eyes ever. But it was a great conversation. He ended up giving me $50 because just because I told him my story. That's the thing. That's my rule. I never beg for money. I never ask for money at all. I never have asked for anything other than water and a place to take a piss. Intake, outtake, you know. Then people keep throwing me money. He gave me $50 exactly. I end up going to the bike store in Lancaster when I get there. They tell me that my back axle is the reason my bike's been shaking so much is because my back axle, my rear wheel, is about to fall off. Guy goes back there, he says we have a 7-day waiting period. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna be fucked. This is gonna end my trip. He goes back there, quick fixes it, says just take it. I'm like, thank fucking God. Thank you, sir. Don't thank God, thank you. Then I bought a bunch of stuff. I bought everything that I needed. I bought a patch kit. I bought a new tire, spare tire, 30% off. Bought a tube. Actually, I bought a chain. I think that was it. Total ended up coming to $50.82, I believe. 80-something cents. And I had found about 80 cents on the way. I collect change when I'm biking by. If I see a quarter, if I see a nickel, some penny even, I'll pick it up. And I collected about 80. It was the strangest coincidence. I don't know if it was exactly to the T, but the universe is calling to me, wants me on this trip, and I'm flattered. So that's it. That's all I got to say. I'm gonna be heading to probably a little past Coatesville today. I'll be in Philly tomorrow. I'm gonna do a coin flip. Heads, we go to one cheesesteak place. Tails, we go to the other one. I'm gonna be seeing my buddy Hurtado from when I was in the military, when I was in Fort Huachuca 6 years ago. Take care. Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Fraser, Pennsylvania.
Paoli, Pennsylvania.
My intuition tells me that I'm either already in Philadelphia or that over there is Philadelphia. Either way, I'm here. First destination, most southern destination I'll be in the entire trip. First meal scheduled here. I'm gonna get my Philly cheesesteak. I'm really excited about that. So I did 25 miles this morning. I guess I got up at around 9:30. Church didn't greet me or anything. The pastor didn't come up. I think it's almost awkward not to address the strange man in the tent in your yard. Had people walking by talking about, oh well, I hope it doesn't kill the grass. And someone shook my tent, like a fucking asshole. Ironically, at a church called the Church of Good Samaritans. So there's that. I still can't get off my mind what Ben had said to me yesterday, or a few days ago when I was in Gettysburg. It was strange. He said, he gave me the $50, and he said to me, just think of me as a shadow, a passerby. And it had this, like in hindsight, it had this aura of guardian angel sort of thing. I'm not a spiritual person, really. Although maybe I'm becoming sort of. I'm not a superstitious person. That's what I'm trying to get at. But there's something there. It was interesting. So I've got 6 hours or so before Hurtado gets here. Got some things to do. I'm gonna go check out the scenes.
This place is so America. You're good.
First goddamn place.
This place is so unbelievably America that I just put the costume back on. Fucking love Philadelphia. Need a fanny pack full of Cheetos and get like the Cheeto dust all over my hands. Pat's King of Steaks, right?
Yep.
I'm here with my buddy Orlando Hurtado and his beard, Rachel. Man. All right, man, we gotta flip a coin, right?
Yeah.
Heads we go to Pat's, tails Geno's. Tails, we're going to Geno's.
Got woken up by the cops. Told me I can't sleep here, it's a national park. I was told by someone, I didn't really know at all, that it was safe to sleep here. Evidently it isn't. It's a very nice place to sleep. Quiet. Well, there's a helicopter going overhead. It's quiet. No one else here. Yeah, I knew it was too good to be true, so I'm gonna head west slightly. That's where they told me to go. So about an hour later, I found a second place to sleep. Then I got kicked out of that too. So I just said, screw it, I'm leaving Philly. I'm not a fan. My overall consensus is, if you're wondering about my input on Pittsburgh versus Philly, Pittsburgh is a much better city. Nobody in Philly really seemed happy to be there. They all, like I was, because it was my first real destination. I was like, yeah, East Coast. But that quickly faded because nobody else was really. Everyone I tried to talk to, every interaction I had was negative. It was very suspect. And both of the neighborhoods I went through were pretty ghetto. The west side and northeast side. So I mean, what can I say? I didn't like this. I think it's kind of a dumb. I wouldn't really recommend going. There's the great historical stuff, which is very heavily guarded, and if you have bags, they'll think that you're a terrorist if you leave them for unattended for more than 5-10 minutes, which happened to me, by the way. Yeah, Philly cheesesteak was alright. I mean, it was good food. It tasted good. It was very American tasting. Yeah, so I got to this church here. I'm at a Roman Catholic church, and I got here at 7. I was just like, hey, can I just take a nap? He said, you got a half hour. I'm like, oh, jeez, okay, do this again. But then 7:30 rolled around. He woke me up. Said I had to leave. Then he said, you can stay around until 10. And it's now 11:30 and no one's here. So I'm just gonna pack up and head out. Probably find a library. Need some downtime to watch some YouTube videos, and because last night was just, I just felt so unwanted. Like, Philly will make you hard. Philly will make you a tough son of a gun if you're trying to find a place to sleep. I mean, maybe it's just that I didn't know where to go. But, so that's it for me. I'll be in New York shortly. I'll probably get there Tuesday. Carly said that she won't be there till Wednesday sometime, but she's got a way that I can get into her apartment regardless, so it gives me an added incentive to step up the pace a bit. So I'll probably get there Tuesday. But that's it for me.
Fucking this. This would have been nice to know. I ended up doing a 10-mile loop back to Bristol because I didn't know that. That sucked. It wasn't scenic either. I was going through fucking landfills. It's pretty awful. The smell was pretty awful. I'm ready to go to Princeton. New Jersey. Given what I've seen from the show, I'll spend as little time as I can here.
Princeton, New Jersey. Stayed here last night. Some interesting commentary on that. Alright, so now I can expand on that a little more. So I got into New Jersey yesterday. I got into Trenton, New Jersey, which ends up, just as it turns out, is kind of a hood. Yeah, it was definitely, everywhere I go is a fucking hood. I don't even care anymore. It doesn't matter. I can ask people for directions, you know, but it doesn't matter. People are, oh, stay away from the ghetto. So I get into Trenton, and I see a berry tree, so I just start picking away at the berry tree, like I always do. It's probably like the dozenth time I've done it. All of a sudden, these two black gals in a little car drive up onto the bridge, facing away from me, and they yell. They say, "Are you hungry?" I turn around, I look at them, and they say, "Why are you picking those berries?" I say, "Well, it looks like you just answered your own question." And you know, she kind of frowned at me a bit, but they ended up offering me some food, some chicken strips, barbecue chicken strips, and some French fries. And they're like, "Are you gonna eat it?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'll eat it. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it." I had it down in like 3 minutes, and then before she pulled away, you know, there's all the God bless you exchanges. But before she pulled away, she asked, "Are you okay?" And it wasn't one of those like, "Are you physically okay?" Like, "Are you hurt?" kind of things, or "Are you a vagabond?" kind of thing. It was like one of those, mentally, "Are you all right?" And I just kind of laughed. I was just like, "Yeah, I'm fine. And then they took off. But I could tell they didn't have a lot of money, so I mean, I felt that was especially heartfelt to do that. And then I keep riding. I get to Princeton here, and I stop at a few places that are well lit up, and I ask this gal, and she tells me, "Oh, the campus is over that way. It's northeast of you." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." She was kind of a priss. You could tell she was one of those very happy about her level of education kind of people. then I get to this church and I start talking to these two guys, just because why not? Because I just talk to everyone now, and they think that what I'm doing is really good. Everyone thinks that what I'm doing is really cool, and that inspires me. It really makes me feel good. They say that I inspire them. I'm inspired when I hear that. I love that. They end up giving me $8, one of them, and $5 the other one. I never asked for the money. You know, I've been thinking a lot about that lately, like, because here I am. I'm not asking for any money from anyone, and I can't stop getting money from people. And you go see a homeless guy on the side of the street, on the sidewalk, and he asks everyone for money and gets none. Well, it's next to none. And I'm just wondering why that is. And I think I figured out. I think that I've pinned down to 4 reasons. 4 reasons why I do and they don't. 4 reasons why I do and a lot of them don't. I don't want to be racist or anything here, but number 1, I'm white. People assume that white people are more diligent and more honest, well-to-do, that kind of thing, which is unfortunate, but that's just the case, and it sucks. But number 2, I'm young. People don't like to see young people in duress. I figured that. I think that's the case. Number 3, I'm articulate when I talk, and I seem like I'm with it, and I'm not. I don't seem to be under the influence of alcohol or any sort of drugs. That's a real turnoff for people. I don't think, oh, he's just on drugs, oh, he's just drinking. If I seem like I'm on the same level as they are, it's more easy to empathize. It's more easy to see me as human. And the 4th one, I think the most important one, this is the one I came up with yesterday, is that I'm doing something that seems challenging, that seems like a feat to a lot of people, and it's inspiring. And when you do something that's out of your comfort zone, that's difficult like that, that's a challenge, there are going to be people that want to hurt you, that want to stop you from doing it. They're assholes. People that give you the finger on the freeway like yesterday, or like every day, basically. But most people, they want to be a part of that. They want to contribute to that. And I think that that's a really beautiful intention to have. I think that it's really beautiful that that's part of the human nature that we've evolved into, is to want to naturally help people who want to accomplish great things. So that's put on my mind. Apart from that, yeah, I'm sitting here in this park. I had to get the fuck out of the near area because I ended up camping at that same church where I was talking to those guys. In the morning, I go into the church to go to the bathroom, and I hear children. I'm like, oh shit, because usually I do a quick search to see if there's any chance that it's like a playground in the morning or a daycare. And if that's the case, I usually don't stay there because I don't want to be accused of pedophilia or something. But I didn't see that this time. I must have missed it, because in the morning, I get out of my tent, I see 2 of those like inflatable swimming pools, those little circular ones. And I'm like, oh shit, it's one of those churches. So I gotta get out of here. So I quick go to the bathroom, and then I get back out to my tent, start taking my stuff down. And when I'm taking my tent down, there's this kid looking at the pool. I don't know what he was doing in it, but then he immediately starts like he sees me, he immediately starts like booking it straight inside, like walking very deliberately. And I was like, oh shit, okay. So I don't know if he's going to like tattle on me or something, but I need to get out of here before my intentions are misrepresented in a very bad way. So I start packing up. I kind of skip a few steps. I just kind of throw some of the stuff in the bags that I don't normally put them in. Yeah, it doesn't even look right now. But I start leaving just as all of the kids are coming out with whatever chaperone or a guy that's watching them. Big motherfucker is with them. And it was at the point where I'm sure I know he had to have seen me. I was right in his line of sight. But he didn't get a chance to ask me anything or be like, you there, that kind of thing, because I left. And now I'm at this park, and I'm going to be heading to Newark, which is 36 miles from here. That's in New York. And then from there I will be basically in New York City at that point. So that's it. I'll be in New York City tonight, maybe within the next few hours. I'm completely out of water, I'm completely out of food, but I've got a lot of money now. Which sounds arrogant of me to say, so I've still not been using most of it for that reason. Humbleness, humility. So I'll probably buy myself a small meal. Probably like a dollar menu kind of thing again, you know, save money. I want the most calories per dollar, you know, that kind of thing. Density, calorie density per market value. So that's it. I'm gonna head out.
New Brunswick, New Jersey. Linden, New Jersey. Elizabeth, New Jersey, 1664. They said it couldn't be done. Ha. Everyone told me that I had to take a ferry to get into New York City. Well, I just crossed the hardest part, Highway 7, so it becomes interstate like you can see. Not very not very bicycle friendly. There's usually a lot more traffic than that little part there. But what I did was I back down there, I waited for a lull because I knew that there'd be a break. There always is a break. And then I went as far as I could. Traffic started coming. I took my bike, hopped it over this little barrier there, and then started coming this way. Over there, I'm going to take a left onto JFK Drive, I believe. And I'm going to go all the way up, and then I go to the George Washington Bridge. You can walk across the George Washington Bridge. You're in fucking New York City, and you didn't pay a dime. Ha! And the great thing, since I'm the only motherfucker that's apparently crazy enough to do this shit, this entire walkway has no people on it. Walkway ends over there. Continues over here. I guess I'm not the only one who is crazy enough to do this. But the rest of them pollute a lot. So I was walking along this rail area just now to get the rest of the way because the path ended. So I walked up the rail, came down, ended up right there on that corner. Dropped all my stuff. Had to bring all my stuff up separately, and the bike. It was 3 trips up and 3 trips back down. And not 1.5 minutes after I got down, the train goes by. Very well could have demolished some of my shit. Fucking universe. Oh, and Jersey City. Freudian slip. Jersey City, New Jersey. George Washington Bridge, finally. Across this bridge I'm in New York. Food everywhere in New York City. You can't go a block without, you can't go a few blocks without finding something. Chinese food someone threw away, banana on the street. There's food fucking everywhere. It's actually lightning out right now. I'm not worried about it. It's just gonna so many fucking people. It's not gonna hit me, right? So that's the thing. They put all their shit out on the front of New York City. So it's easy to pick through, easy to see. Cat's Deli. This is a coveted place to eat in New York City, so I'm told. Let's see.
How far is that oddities thing?
So ran into, let me get this working, crying out loud. Ran into a couple of nice people, Gene and Tina. Gene's a native New Yorker. Ran into them on the Staten Island ferry. And Tina's originally from Minnesota, but she's lived here a good long time now. You're not supposed to take bikes up. I was trying to get a good photo op. You're not supposed to take bikes up to the top deck. But because Gene, I think it's because Gene knew the guy who was in charge of the ferry, I was able to, anyway. It ended up not being a great place to take pictures, but so I ended up going back down to the first floor. I got a few, but I'm gonna try to get to the Governor's Island and take one from there. That seems like a more opportune area. So I'm on Staten Island now, and I'll be checking this place out a bit, riding along the coast. Maybe I'll go see the beach.
And now I'm on South Beach in Staten Island, New York City. Pretty crystal clear view. You can't see it so well. It's a fucking camera again. But out off in the distance, you can kind of make out the skyline over there. That's Brooklyn, I'm told. Yeah. This is the Verrazano Bridge, I believe he said. Yeah. Staten Island Ferry. Headed back to Manhattan. Full of people.
I got drenched in New York City.
So this is the Brooklyn Bridge?
I think so. I should know. I don't know which one is which, but I can't see the others.
Oh, look at that.
You're in Park Slopes at Prospect Park. Fireworks last night were pretty awesome, the Macy's fireworks. We got there near the end. I got to see the last 10 minutes of it. Over the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge there. It was a pretty cool show. Now I'm here, just decided to do some biking today. I'm going to leave tomorrow, probably before noon, to start heading up to, I expect to get to about New Haven, Connecticut. Yeah, I'm at this, I don't even know what this is. I guess some jazz show. I might be able to go in. I don't know if it costs money. There's a big, long line. So, we'll see. Just got a free meal from a few Hispanic guys over there at the park. Gave me like 3 or 4 pieces. They saw me going into the trash and getting a piece of chicken out, and they were like, "Oh, you hungry?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure. I'll take food." Always act grateful. Always appreciate the things people give you. It's half of it's for you, half of it's for them, but always appreciate it. It's one of those things that makes the world go round. Anyway, so yeah, they gave me a bunch of chicken. They gave me a piece of steak of some sort. I thanked them. Kept going. Gave me a Coca-Cola, and yeah, it was really cool.
Southernmost point, east and southernmost point of Brooklyn. Woo! Coney Island, which provided us an impromptu fireworks display, even though it's the 5th of July, not the 4th. And yeah, it's a cool place to be. I'm a big fan. Just packing up my stuff here. Let's put on my bike so I can get back home. Southern Bronx. Fuck it. I don't feel like filming much just because I'm going through bad neighborhoods. I feel like I should be playing a Sarah McLachlan song. What do you expect me to feel bad? I don't care anymore. I'm used to it. I'm in Westchester, which is known as the snobby north area of New York, Westchester County. I'm going through several different cities. I'm in the city of Rye right now, spelled like the bread. I was about to stop here and take my rest here for the night, just because I thought I heard lightning thunder, but it's actually just fireworks over there. So I won't be doing that. I will be continuing. I'll probably get to Greenwich tonight, Greenwich, Connecticut. So there's that. My thoughts on New York City. I wanted to touch up base on my thoughts on New York City. First one is, the people there are nice. No, I'm sorry, they're not nice. They're kind, but they are not nice. Meaning, they aren't inherently malicious. But if you were to take somebody who's in New York City and bring them to the Midwest, they would be seen as rude. But they're not. The reason for that is very simple. If, for example, what they actually are is curt. What they actually are is brief. They have a thing for brevity. For example, if I'm asking for directions in the Midwest, they say, oh, take a left and then right, blah, blah, blah. Give me directions. I say, thank you. They say, you're welcome. Have a nice ride. And then they smile and they walk away. And I walk away. Or I bike away. In New York City, if I ask for directions, oh, they give me directions. I say, thank you. That's the end of the conversation. It ends right there. There is no frivolous, thank you, yeah, you're welcome, have a nice... That's the end, because they spare the platitudes in the name of brevity, which is interesting. Because I guess the stereotype is that they're such a busy city. But another observation I made was, if they're such a fucking busy city, why does everyone bike so slowly there? And I'm not saying that to brag. I just noticed that people don't bike all that quickly there. I was passing basically everybody, especially people who had a bike of equal quality to mine. You have some of these cyclocross guys that are going crazy, but yeah. So yeah, I like New York City. It's a lot better than Philadelphia. Philadelphia, no one's nice. No one's happy to be there. Like I said, I was, but that ended after I had talked to enough people there, because no one's happy to be there. New York City, people are happy to be there, and I think there's a closeness there, and a lot of that came from 9/11, Hurricane Sandy, the problems that they've had recently, or in the last, it's been more than a decade since 9/11 now, but it's still had its impact, I would imagine, and I really appreciated that. It's sort of like how C.S. Lewis touches on the problem of pain, and how through pain we grow and become interdependent and go back to our roots and say, hey, other people matter, and that's important to me. I want to make their lives better, and hopefully they'll reciprocate that feeling. So yeah, New York City, I would definitely say visit it if you ever have a chance. Philadelphia, don't bother. It's from what I've seen, it's not worth visiting. But New York City definitely is. I went through Bronx. I went through Brooklyn. I was in Manhattan most of the time. I briefly went to Staten Island. The only borough that I didn't go to was Queens, and I've heard that there isn't really much to see there. It's probably like another Staten Island, basically. So yeah, New York City's great in that regard. I would definitely recommend it to anyone. It's also made me realize that I could never live in that big of a city. It's great for me to visit. There's so much to see. There's so much I didn't see, but I could never live in a place like that. And the reason is that although the people there were surprisingly nice, you're not going to find the same kind of neighborly attitude that you find in Madison, Wisconsin, or in places like Pittsburgh, where it's just a matter of population. It's really just a matter of
not having that anonymity factor. See, because if you have 300,000 people, it's more like a village. It's tribal. You're going to run into people you know every time you walk out the door. If you live in a city where there are over 1 million people, that's not necessarily the case. You're going to see people you don't know every day. And with that anonymity factor, people have a tendency, it's like online, people have a tendency to be assholes online in anonymous chat rooms or on 4chan. It's the same thing happens in a big city. You're going to have that anonymity factor. People are not going to be caring toward one another. And I've found that to be the case everywhere I go. I keep going through these ghettos. I also wanted to mention, let's see if I can even see through this. I also wanted to mention that I play this joke like oh, I'm going through the ghetto, ha ha ha, it's not that big of a deal, and it really isn't. It's hyperbolized to an extreme to seem more dangerous than it actually is. But I wanted to take this opportunity to show my appreciation for the people that cared enough, A, to warn me, and B, to just kind of like even nag at me, like the fact that people are concerned about my well-being enough to say with emotion involved, hey, don't go there, no, don't do that, that's dangerous. Even if you're wrong, I appreciate the sentiment greatly, because if no one was telling me that, I wouldn't be on watch, first of all. I wouldn't be on guard. But secondly, I wouldn't know that people give a shit about me. And that would be a miserable feeling for me. So I really appreciate the fact that people care enough to let me know and just care enough about my well-being. I'm grateful, immensely grateful for that, and I don't show that enough. Going forward, I'm going to continue going through all the ghettos that I want to see. And maybe I will play some Sarah McLachlan. We'll see. That's all I gotta say for tonight. Pretty soon I'm gonna do a session on what I've learned about the ghettos, about what I've learned on this trip. So look forward to that. Take care. Also, at a park in Westchester there, I had a long, about a 15-minute conversation with a guy. I think his name was Richard, and he's a professor at the Berkeley College, not Berkeley University, that's the other coast, but Berkeley College here in Westchester. And he teaches psychology kind of classes, basically. And it was just interesting talking to him. He seemed like he gave a shit, and I tried to reinforce his giving a shit about teaching by saying, hey, keep giving a damn, keep being a teacher who has tenacity, who gives a care about his students, because the world needs more of those. I've been trying to do that where I can. There's a good William Penn quote, I believe. It says, I shall pass this way but once, therefore any good that I can do, let me do it now. Let me not defer from it, for I shall not pass this way again. And that's been really hitting home to me. It's quoted in Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, but it's been really hitting home to me on this trip, because that's what it's all about. I'm passing it on. People have been good to me. I have to continue being good to other people, and that's what makes the world go round. Throwing money at problems, like, it's affected my politics a bit. Hasn't changed them. It's reinforced them, really. Throwing money at problems doesn't really establish a footing. It doesn't really ground goodness. But informing people, educating people, making people give a shit about their community, teaching them how to effectively use their resources best. That's the thing I've learned about the ghetto, is that people don't effectively use the resources. There's more money thrown on the ground. There's more food in the streets that I can eat in the ghetto than there is in these richer areas, oftentimes. So effectively using your resources is an important thing that people need to learn in order to stay out of the hood. That's all I gotta say. That was another thought of mine. People in New York City honk way too often. And I say way too often objectively, not subjectively. We in Wisconsin don't honk nearly as often as everyone else. It started in Ohio. I started realizing people honk a lot more often than I'm used to. Increasing incrementally up to New York City, where they honk too much. And the reason they honk too much is because they're all in a hurry again, and it seems like there are some people there that wait for someone to honk at them before they don't even look for the green light, But the big thing, the reason it ends up being too much, because there's honking going on everywhere that no one's paying attention. I'm totally desensitized to it. If people honk at me now, I don't give a shit.
for the next few days that'll probably be the case, which is a blessing for me. But for everyone else, getting honked at, then they're not paying attention to it. It loses meaning. It's like the parents who yell about everything. If you yell about everything, yelling no longer has meaning. You no longer associate with, oh, this is urgent. So that's a thought of mine about New York City as well. Greenwich, Connecticut. Stamford, Connecticut. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this like the World Wrestling Federation headquarters? Like, W. On the corner of Home Street and East Main Street. Can't see it very well, it's such a low resolution camera. I'm lamenting it every day.
Patulia Smackdown.
Darien, Connecticut. Probably traveled pretty far tonight. Settled down, I think. The night here in Darien, it looks like it's going to cut out into some. Yeah, my opinion of New England so far is that it's beautiful. All the houses are very pretty. All the buildings are pretty. There's churches everywhere, so I'm guaranteed I'm going to find a place the next mile or two at the very most to settle down, camp out. So, yeah, New England's nice. It's good shit. Westport, Connecticut. Fairfield, Connecticut. New Haven, Connecticut. Had my first tire malfunction in a while today. I just replaced it with a patch kit. I didn't replace the tube. I didn't replace the tire. Found the puncture, took it out. Had a patch kit, so I used that. We'll see how that holds up. Another indulgence I'm going to have to enjoy. Have to try that. $5.99 a pound for live lobster. Old Saybrook, Connecticut. Life hacks, you say? Oh no, it's an interstate. Oh, I'm on a bridge, motherfucker. There's a crossway. Looks like I'm not gonna have to pull another New Jersey. I'm gonna have to walk around contemplating my mortality again. Old Lyme, Connecticut. Waterford, Connecticut. That, my friends, is the Thames River. I found another life hack. I'm on the interstate, but I've got me a bridge to cross. Pathway. It's safe. On that side is, I don't even fucking remember. Groton, Connecticut. Mystic, Connecticut. Looks like I'm trading in my bike legs for running legs today. I got invited to do a fun run by some guy named Mike, jeweler, back in Mystic. We're in Stonington now. So I'll be doing that. And he said he was gonna buy me dinner afterward if I talked to his kids. So how can I turn that down, right? That's where I slept. I'm in Mike's house right now. He's downstairs with his kids. Yeah, I stayed here last night. We ended up, I did that. He didn't tell me it was a 5K, but it was a 5K run. My time was 25 minutes, 21 seconds, which isn't great, but it ain't shabby. So then he bought me dinner, and I had everything. I had everything Connecticut. We had mussels, we had clams, oysters. I had this lobster roll. It was great.
So did that. I got basically everything New England has to offer. So I think I'm gonna skip getting oysters or clams or whatever I was going to in Providence. And just trek it up to Boston.
Take this for example. I only know these berries are here because this is between Mystic and Stonington. Yesterday when I was biking this same path from Mystic to Stonington, I saw some gal over on the side of the road here picking berries. That's the only reason I know they were there. And I said, you know, I was like, oh, are you okay? And I wanted to make sure that she wasn't, you know, she was on a bike, so I wanted to make sure that her bike was working and everything was all right. And she said, yeah, I'm just picking berries. I was like, you know, it's a funny thing. Someone thought I was kind of crazy for doing the same thing. They were like, why are you picking those berries? And she answered, obviously you were picking them, kind of thing. Because they're nutritious and they're free and they are fresher than the ones you buy in a grocery store. And I said, you get it. So here I am. I didn't mention this, unless it's obvious. Mystic, Stonington, pretty rich neighborhoods. Pretty wealthy people around here. Everyone's doing well. Still know how to use their resources pretty well. No one thinks it's crazy here for you to be picking berries. Whereas when I'm in Trenton, New Jersey, where I got asked by those two gals, they thought I was kind of nuts. This is a very good metaphor, or it's a very good example at least, for what I was talking about earlier, by failure to use resources well. In the ghetto, in impoverished areas, impoverished people need to learn how to use their resources better. And I'm not saying that it's not a problem. I'm not on my high horse saying shame on them. I'm just saying they need to be educated more. That's all. And I'm just saying that throwing more money at the problem is definitely not the solution. That's all. So that was just a thought that was on my mind today. Yeah, I just got back. I just left Mike's place. I was talking to his son for like 3 hours. Brilliant kid, 13 years old. Brilliant kid. Man, if I ever have a son, I hope he turns out almost exactly like this kid. Just way ahead of his time. Way ahead of some kids my age mentally. So I was really impressed with that. I'm leaving today. I'll get 8 miles from here is Rhode Island, and then I will be in Providence easily tonight. I'll probably get out of Providence. Probably won't stay there too long because I've tried all the stuff that I needed to try in New England just last night. I'll probably have pictures of that if Mike emails them to me. Oh, it's just amazing dinner. Really good dinner. So that's all I gotta say. Stick around. Westerly, Rhode Island. So this is why we take detours. Right here. Boom. I am in Wakefield, Rhode Island. Or no, I'm in Narragansett. I think it's how it's pronounced, Narragansett or something like that. I'll find a spelling of it in a bit. Let's go for a little ride. Whee! There, that's what I was looking for. Narragansett. Whatever the fuck. Rhode Island. That's my scenic route. I think we're in Wickford, Rhode Island. Didn't want to keep my camera there because there's some people like. Just past Kingstown. I'm now in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Take a look at it, ladies and gents. Isn't it beautiful? I'm on another bridge. I'm on the Henderson Bridge, or as the locals call it, the Old Red Bridge. Overlooking, I don't even know what river this is, to be honest. But I'm in Providence, Rhode Island. This is probably the most you'll see of it. I'm kind of skimming through. I just really want to get out on the road. I'll be heading now straight east on Highway 44 to a town called Taunton or Taunton, I don't remember. And then continuing east to Plymouth. And then up north to Boston. So someone else said I'm about 60 miles from Boston. I think it's more like 75. Especially the route I'm taking. Yeah, he was probably mistaken using the interstate route. So I don't think I'll get to Boston tonight, but tomorrow I will. So that's that. Take care. Rehoboth, Massachusetts. Taunton, Massachusetts. On the back roads of Plymouth Street, headed toward Plymouth, Massachusetts, from Middlesbrough. It's a pretty sight, huh? That's the Rock. I'm super excited about the Rock. People in vehicles want you on the sidewalk, while people walking on the sidewalk want you in the road. Both groups of people can go fuck themselves for all I care. Ghetto as its neighborhood seems to have a linear correlation with how many cash advance places there are in that neighborhood. People are always so worried about big box stores. Big box stores, oh, get Target out of here, get Walmart out of here. Worry about the checking into cash, cash advance, loan shark people. Those are what will ruin your neighborhood. If you feel that you're ever going to need an excuse for staying at a church, or that you're at a loss for a reason why you're staying there, or maybe they question you in the morning if you get caught, which I think the pastor has noticed me or approached me 3 times out of, I don't know, 20 or so now. But if you find yourself in this situation, here is the line. Repeat after me. I was going down the street and I didn't get a few more towns over. I was planning on keeping on going for several more miles, but it got dark and the roads were narrow and I wasn't expecting traffic to be as scary as it was. So I felt that it was in my best interest and for my safety to get off the road as quickly as I could, so I stayed here. It's even easier, bonus points, if you can say that there was a storm going on, because if there was last night, the weather was actually inclement like that, then you also have that excuse. Makes it a lot easier. Never pay for water. Don't ever pay for water. So far, of the God knows how many times, at least 50 times that I've asked for water. I've gone into usually fast food places, sometimes diners, sometimes like family restaurants, a few times gas stations, things like that. And I've said, "Oh, I'm just wondering, I was wondering if you guys could do me a favor. Could I fill up could I just throw some ice in this thing?" Don't say fill up, because that makes it sound like you're taking a lot. Say, could I just throw some ice in this thing and then actually fill up? Throw some ice, maybe some water in my Camelback here. Sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, well, if you have to pay for a cup." "Oh, I don't need a cup. I've got this Camelback, so no problem with that." Only once out of however many times, like I said, and this was in New York City, in Staten Island, did they say, oh, I'd have to charge you for the ice. And I walked out, and I just went, eventually I got to a park, and I found some water, and I just took some water from a park, a water fountain in a park. Don't ever pay for water or ice when you're out on the road on a bike. And don't wait until you're completely out. Wait till you're close to out, but don't wait till you're completely out, because that could screw you over. But you want to have the option to, if you need to go another 5 miles if someone's really being a Scrooge about it. But yeah, don't ever pay for that shit. Jesus. I mean, I don't know. Maybe in the South it's different because they have droughts, they have shortages more often. But if you're in the area where I've been so far, there's no reason you should ever have to pay for water. Life hack though, if they do try to make you pay for water, you could always just go, oh, well, where's the bathroom? And then just go fill up in the sink. I've done that too. If you're in the ghetto and you find yourself locking eyes with somebody who looks a little bit intimidating or a little bit aggressive, they're looking at you sort of aggressively, I would like to emphasize the importance of the simple nod. The nod is the solution to this predicament. If you find yourself in this situation, it seems a little dangerous. Someone's walking this way, you're walking the opposite way, and they're staring at you because for some reason in cities people like to do that. Don't look away. You cannot just look away, look on the ground, especially if there's more than one of them. That seems like that's just putting yourself in a situation where you seem spineless. So don't do that. Instead, be the first to nod, because chances are they don't want to start shit. Most people, they don't want to start trouble. They don't want violence. It's mutually assured destruction. The most they can gain is 0. The most they can lose is substantial. And the same goes for you. Be the first to nod. If they're not nodding, nod. Just nod. That usually, a nod between men says quite a bit. It says, I'm good. It says, I want nothing. I want no problems. You and I are at least neutral, if not allies. That kind of thing. It puts it into a tribal perspective. Like, hey, I'm on good terms with you, kind of a thing. And every time I've done that, they just nod back, and it goes from that strange, scary stare to what's up, and just like that, just with one nod, which I've always found really interesting. I'm trying to decide on a church to stay at for the night. Always try to find one. Always make sure to find one that doesn't have a playground on it. If it has a playground on it, that's a very good indicator that it's also a daycare. So in the morning, when you wake up, and there's a chaperone waiting outside with a bunch of kids, that's a great way to make yourself look like a pedophile. Avoid that by just going to a church that doesn't have one of these play sets.
So last night at about 11 p.m. I suppose, the sprinkler system went on at the church I was at, so all my shit got wet. Didn't think about that until it happened, so that was an interesting situation. Anyway, I'm gonna head out now. I'm at the library, Duxbury. I'm gonna be making it to Boston probably in about 4 hours.
Marshfield, Massachusetts.
It's just lovely, huh? Laying on a beach in Quincy, or near Quincy, right off of 3A, right off of Highway 3A there. Just sort of taking it in, listening to Bob Marley. Bob Marley's the best to listen to when you're on the beach. I don't know what it is. It's just a great combination, especially if you're like stretching on the beach. Love it. Do more of that if you're not doing that now. My bike over there, all my stuff. I'm not gonna worry about that for right now, though. Don't worry about enjoying this beach. It's really important that I live here for a while.
Nassonet River. Probably the first river I've ever seen that I think's kind of ugly. Look, I mean, there's this sort of, it's shallow, and looks like it used to be less shallow, but they've been having problems keeping their water levels high or something, I don't know. And that island there is just sort of this gray blob. Yeah. Everyone's a critic though, right? Over there's Boston. So that was the end of the East Coast journey for me. Hope you liked it. I liked it. I loved it. Now to head up upstate Maine. It was interesting. My pipe fell in the water there. It was hard to get that from the pier. I had to do some serious parkour, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, that's the lighthouse. Coveted, in my mind coveted, lighthouse that I wanted to see. Get a picture of. People out there too. Well, they came by once in a while. No big deal. Lost my kickstand out there. And balance on it. Broke it off and fell right in the water too. Hard to find. Something I'm sick of is women saying, "You're crazy." Like it's a cute thing to say. Like, stop being cute in Pennsylvania. I get it at least once every day, usually 2 or 3 times a day. And it stopped being cute, it stopped being original a long time ago. It just annoys the shit out of me now. It's like, I'm crazy? You're the one who's gonna sit around, have a fucking desk job, get that cottage cheese ass going at your HR job, get married, be in an unhappy marriage because you've gotten too fucking fat. You and your husband's probably just as fucking retarded. And you're gonna call me crazy. Fucking joke. Fucking joke. Because what I'm doing is a little bit dangerous. I would rather die doing what I'm doing than live your fucking life. That's how I always think when I hear that. Oh, I'm a CNA. I pull in good money on and on. I care about people. I want to find a decent man. Shut up. It's just more of that arrogance that, oh, I know better than you. Like, fuck off. I don't claim to know better than anyone until the talons come out a bit when they start to pull that shit on me. Because it's like, from my perspective, what they're doing is totally dysfunctional. So that's just my thought on it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this ride. Kennebec River. I'm now entering the Forks. I'll just set this down. Really wish I had my kickstand still. Now entering the Forks. Established 1859. Population 30 people. So yeah, when I was in Skowhegan, that one guy I was talking about said that it would be pretty rough. It wasn't that rough. It was nothing like it was in Pennsylvania by far. I'm here at the Forks, like way ahead of schedule. Jackman's about another 20 miles. I'll easily get there. Right now it's like 2 p.m. I'll get there, yeah, easily by 5. I could probably get into Canada today. I just might do that. I might. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this wasn't bad. I ended up talking to that guy. He was a teacher. His name is Chris. It was really great to talk to him because most of the time when I tell people, oh, I'm from, they say, where are you from? And I say, oh, I'm from Wisconsin. I went to Philly and now I'm here. Usually they're like, oh, wow, how inspiring. And I really like hearing that. I really do. But this guy's like, oh, yeah, I used to tour a lot too. I was like, oh, really? Like, where'd you go? He's like, and basically what he did was he used to tour Canada. And then he did like the seat belt of the United States, both ways, and northeast to southwest, and then northwest to southeast. It sounds like. So he's done a lot of touring, and because he was a teacher, he had the time too over the summer. So it's cool talking to him. He ended up giving me $8. We just talked a bunch, and then yeah. So maybe I'll get like a decent meal tonight. I don't know. We'll see. I might just save it. I don't know.
I've just been so goddamn happy today. I don't know what it is. Everything that comes up in my mind is just pure joy. I'm thinking about old things that happened with friends. It just make me laugh. Things with guys in the army back in Iraq made me laugh. Arnold impersonations. I don't know. And just talking to old friends, just the ridiculous shit I've done in my life. It's just been really great. For some reason, I just can't stop smiling and laughing like a maniac. Out here, I can sing, I can laugh real loud, and there's no one to talk to. There's no one that can really hear. Population 30, right? So you don't have to worry about being embarrassed at all. Not that I would anyway anymore. Different person now. But so yeah, it's been wild. Oh my God, it really is beautiful. I mean, take a look. It really is beautiful out here. You can tell. Yeah. I know I've said this enough, and it's probably getting annoying. I'm starting to get annoyed by it, but it's fucking camera business. It doesn't do it justice. You're out here, you really see it. I wish cameras were more panoramic. If they were more panoramic, then you'd be able to understand what I'm seeing. Because I have a peripheral vision. Cameras don't. So that's it. In the Forks, going to Jackman. See you when I get there. So just a couple miles outside of Jackman now. I was running low on water, so I stopped. I did what I do best. I scavenged, found a water bottle with a little bit of water in it. Started pouring it in my thing. This guy pulled over, asked me if I was all right. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just running low on water. Filled me up. He had this big thing of water. I really appreciated that, and he gave me a couple apples. Everyone was wrong. These hills were rough. I had to walk some of them. Swing back and forth because my feet still hurt so bad from that sunburn. Yeah, it was rough. The guy in Skowhegan, he was wrong. It actually got worse after the Forks. Between the Forks and whatever, Skowhegan, it wasn't so bad. I got harder afterward. And the other guy, this is comparable. This is comparable to the Appalachians in Philly, or in Pennsylvania. But I think I'm at the top, and I think it's basically gonna be downhill from here to Jackman. Take a look at this view. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so sexy. But the rest of this is gorgeous. Jackman, Maine. 15 miles from here, Canada border. This is my last stop. It's the last city I'll be in before I'm in Canada. And that's it. That over there is Canada. That's where I'm going. So I've been in Canada for about 40 miles now. Something like that. It's north of Beaceville. I'm gonna slaughter the pronunciation of all these towns. Unintentionally, but such it is. Gail Donna yesterday gave me these snap peas. She gave me $5. Gave me money to take a shower, and she gave me some chips. All while I was in Jackman. I had my first conversation today with someone who didn't speak English. That was difficult. And very brief. It was fun though. We were both very, I think as a result of the language barrier, we were both very joyful, exuding joy toward one another. I don't know what it is. You don't have much to say, you just kind of speak in smiles. She asked, you know, you back from Wisconsin, right? Yeah. She asked what day. I was like, Undo talk at St. June. She's like, oh, okay. That's kind of neat. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I got another 60 kilometers to Quebec City. I'll probably cover a few more of those tonight. Find a church, sleep it up. It's difficult not knowing the language of the locals. Different, very different. I'm pretty tired right now. I'm just kind of sitting here outside this ice cream shop, enjoying the view. I'm gonna do that.
See if I can keep up with them while I'm filming. It's gonna be tough. These people actually bike like they have a purpose. You go back on like New York City, the rest of the US. Told that this camera angle is from a movie from Catch Me If You Can. So as you saw earlier, I met a couple of bikers, local bikers named Michelle, or Mike as he wanted me to call him, and Sylvie. They corrected me. I was about to miss my turn, and I had missed my turn, and they said, "Oh, that's back that way, but we can show you a different way to get to the city, a much better way than the directions I had." So we got to talking, and they spoke English, luckily enough. They spoke English pretty well. And we started talking, and bought me some food at a Tim Hortons. And yeah, a lot of food. $11 worth, 11 Canadian dollars worth. Food. They got like they got this like French dessert thing. I don't even know what it's called. Some like chocolate. It's kind of like a chocolate covered croissant. And then I got like a sandwich and some milk and some soup. It was really great. And then they bought me a ferry ticket. We rode this bike trail to the ferry. They bought me a ferry ticket. Now I'm in Old Quebec, or Vieux Quebec, as it's called in French. Really cool people. So I want to explore around here a bit. It's been wild, yeah. Getting into customs was cool yesterday. They didn't find the drugs in my ass. Thank goodness, because actually I'd be really disappointed if I had drugs in my ass, because they didn't check my luggage either. They didn't check any of my bags or anything. So it would have been in vain to have hid them there if I had had any. They didn't find anything. I didn't look. They were kind of mean. They kept asking me how much money I had in my bank account. I had to lie and say it was more than it is. They kept asking me, "Well, where are you staying?" And I was like, I want to make sure basically that I'm not a criminal, I guess. But so it's cool. I got my passport stamped. Most people who go through Canada don't get that, but I did. So take that, motherfuckers. I suppose that's all I have to say for now.
Last look at the river before I head out. So I didn't do a lot of sightseeing. I guess talking to some locals, I talked extensively with 2 people locally, and there isn't that much to see. There's a vineyard that I'm sure I'm missing a great deal of fun by not going to see that. Out on an island, out southeast. Apart from that, doesn't seem like there's much for guys like me. However, in Montreal, I've heard that there is a lot of stuff to see. So when I get to there, these people, they might be able to hook me up with somebody they know who lives there in Montreal. So that'll be nice. Yeah, I was talking extensively. I saw this gal sitting over there. She was kind of cute, so I was like, yeah, I want to talk to her anyway. But I just went up to her, like, you know, I wanted somebody to talk to primarily. So I started talking to her about things to see, I guess. And she had her boyfriend. When I met him, he was a really cool guy. And I don't remember either of their names right now, but I know that he's going to email me, so I'll get it again. They were both very, especially hers, it was something very strange, I don't remember it. Very French. But yeah, we talked extensively just about about Quebec's history, about Canada's history, about what we see the future as, about how our generation, my generation, his generation, we were the same age, are potentially going to be the ones that view nationalism and tribalism and patriotism as things of our grandparents' generation, and that we no longer really subscribe to these ideologies or give much faith into them, which it was good to hear from somebody else, that those same kind of sentiments, the multinationalism, the idea of embracing a sort of a collectivism of people. I'm using a lot of isms. I don't know what I'm trying to prove here, but so sorry about that. But yeah, that's been really fun, and I hope to hear from them again. And maybe I'll have a place in Montreal to stay. Maybe I'll stay a night in Montreal. Who knows? I guess there's a lot to see there. So yeah, these two people I talked to, they've been together for, I don't know, years, and they're both students in the circus. They're both studying. I don't even know how to describe it. They're both studying at a circus school to be people who work in a circus, like acrobats and trapeze, things like that. So the different paths people take really interest me. That's a very different path. They're not going to be HR or an accountant or a business major or even an engineer. They're going to do something that's very obscure, and I think that's really interesting and bold. So that was cool. Hope to hear from them again soon. I'm gonna head out now. I've had a really great time here in Quebec, even though I didn't do a whole lot of touring. I just kind of sat around and talked to some locals. I was worried that the Canadians would be kind of snobby in French Canada here because I don't speak English. They might scoff me. Like, oh, I don't speak English. Pretend not to speak English just because they have so much French pride. And that hasn't been the case so far from what I've seen at all. Everyone seems to be very nice and very accommodating. So that's been a sigh of relief on my part. Take care.
Somewhere in Canada, somewhere about 30 kilometers from Three Rivers, Three Rivers, it's a city. I don't know where I am, but you don't really need to, that's the thing here, I'm not lost. You don't need to know where you are to know where you're going. I know that in 30 kilometers, roughly, I'll be in a big city. A relatively big city, big for Canada. Canada's layout's different. It's all just nothing, and then one big city, and then nothing again, and then one big city. I kind of like that. It's been a very peaceful ride. I ended up staying at this church. I slept at a church last night. It was Jehovah's Witness church. I'm on this bridge right now, and there's a walkway here, but that walkway is totally unnecessary because a car comes by every minute or two. So yeah, I stayed at this church, and then they offered me to join their service, so I did. It was all in French, so I didn't understand hardly a word of it. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care that I'm on the bridge. I'm not trying to take up too much space, but so yeah, I went to this service. It was nice.
The half the people there spoke English, so I was able to get someone. I had a translator. Whew, that was close. Almost lost my phone. Anyway. Très bien. Très bien. Oui, oui, oui. That's about all the French I know right there. But instead of honking at me, they just asked if I was okay. So yeah, I went to this service, and then afterward, I went to lunch with a couple of a guy and his wife, who were both, I think, 23 years old. I don't remember her name. His name was Matthew, spelled Mathieu, I believe. And they were really nice. They bought me lunch and dessert and coffee. It's like this whole big smorgasbord of food when you get a meal here. It's not like, oh, let's get a slice of pizza. They get like a whole thing. So we did that, and then I didn't really leave there until I didn't leave there until 5 p.m. I left at 5 p.m. or so, and now it's probably, I don't know, 8:30 or so. I could ask them. I'm not gonna. I doubt they speak English. But yeah, I've been making good time. It's very flat out here. Not a lot of hills, so very easy riding. Dealing with some drama from back home that I don't really want to talk about because it's annoying the hell out of me. There's going to be some changes coming my way back home, I have a feeling, with family members that I love and roommates that I've enjoyed company of. Anyway, so yeah, I'll make it to Tres Rivières. I don't know if it's Tres Rivières or Tres Rivières tonight, or thereabouts, and then tomorrow I'll pass through it and continue to Montreal. I'll probably get to Montreal not tomorrow, but the next day. Sound good? Sounds good to me. I'm gonna get back on the road.
Bienvenue, Trois Rivières.
So this is a church in Louisville. I won't call it Louisville just to avoid confusion, but we're still in Quebec. But I've noticed that their churches are oftentimes a lot more prestigious. They're always a lot more grandiose than the ones in the United States. And also that theirs are oftentimes at the center of the city. And we like to allocate ours to the outskirts of the city. Theirs is always at the center, which has made it difficult. Now this one's actually a beautiful place to bunker down for the night. I've still got 5 hours of sunlight, so I'm not going to, but oftentimes it's hard to find one. So I stayed with this family last night that I met because I asked for directions, and this morning she insisted on giving me all the food that she didn't think she needed. So I have got a lot of food now, which is pretty great. So I'm gonna head to Montreal now. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to wrap things up. A mile and a half that way is my place. I just was at my dad's. No one's there, so I know they're at my place. In conclusion, it's
been a wonderful trip. Best decision I made in my entire adult life. Most important decision I probably made in my adult life as well. The people I've met along the way, I owe them so much, because they've restored my faith in humanity and made me want to serve humanity. And that's a virtue that I really thrive off of. To all the people who moved over on the side of the road, who got over or even asked if I needed help, and asked if I needed water, helped me along the way, food, shelter, thank you. Keep doing what you do. To those of you who honked at me, to those of you who screamed things at me off the side of the road, to those of you who tried to intimidate me, go fuck yourselves. Now I'm done. I have to stop pretending. I have to stop pretending to be a Christian. I have to stop pretending to be a homeless person. I have to stop pretending to be a karate master in the case in Pittsburgh. I have to stop pretending to be a lot of things and go back to pretending to be a good student. This is Maxwell Horn. My bike trip ends. I'm signing off.